idea this afternoon that maybe I could share a little bit more about myself and what I do in a little bit of a different way than talking. So in my first episode last week, I introduced myself to you and I said I was a flutist because I am a flutist. And right now with COVID and the coronavirus and quarantine and everything, our performances of, our meaning performing artists, musicians, actors, actresses, Broadway musicians, orchestras, like everybody, pretty much performances have been canceled for goodness knows how long. And so I was just trying to think of how can I still share my music with a wider audience than maybe I would get at a normal like festival for music or something like that. And I just got to thinking that maybe I could go through some of my recordings from some past performances and play some of them for you in the form of kind of a sit and knit session. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna just try this out today and see how it goes. If this is not something you are interested in, if you do not want to hear me play the flute and just wanted the knitting content, I will not be offended at all. I have given you an hour already of knitting content, and if you are still here with me and that's all you've got of me for today, no offense taken. I totally get it. Classical music is not for everybody. But I did choose a piece to share with you today that, I'm wearing the Love Note sweater today. And so that got me thinking of romantic music. And flutists, we actually have very little romantic music, but we do have this one piece that is kind of similar to the story of the Little Mermaid. So I thought that I would start off by telling you about this piece. And then I'm gonna insert audio. I don't have a video because the performance that I have of this piece is from when I was a graduate student at Rice University back in 2003. So this would have been March of 2003. So this would have been my final semester at the Shepherd School of Music at Rice University. I, the year before, had won first prize in the Houston Flute Club's Byron Hester competition. And so I was invited by the Houston Flute Club to give a guest artist recital the next year at their festival, which they do once a year. So this is a live performance, and all I have is a CD that I have burned into an MP3 so that I can insert the audio for you here. And so I thought I would tell you the story of the piece, because this is a piece that actually is based on a story. And then I'm just gonna sit and knit the sock yarn that I showed you my socks before. I just did the cast on for Owen's pair of socks, so I thought I would sit and knit on that just while the music plays. And maybe I'll insert some slides of some relevant imagery or something. I'm not exactly sure because I don't know how interested you are in seeing me just sit and knit right here for the duration of the piece. So you might want some other visual content. I don't know. I'm just gonna give this a try because I just thought it could be a fun thing to do. Maybe not every episode, but once in a while, just have a little extra session at the end of the podcast. So, all right. So this is a piece by a German composer, and his name was Reinecke. And he lived between 1824 and 1910. And the piece that I'm playing of his is a sonata that was based on the story of Undine. And Undine is a fairy tale novella. So in German, it's an oh gosh, can I pronounce this? Erzählung. I did have to take German in for my doctoral studies, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. Erzählung, maybe. Erzählung, that sounds pretty good. And this was a story, a novella, a short story written in 1811 by a German author, and his name was Friedrich de la Motte Fouquet. My pronunciation might not be the best, but so he was a German writer of the Romantic style, and the Undine story is really his most survived work. Most of his other works have apparently not really stood the test of time, but this one did. And so I already told you this is a little bit similar to The Little Mermaid. It's not exactly the same story. So here we go. The Undine Sonata paints a musical picture of the story of Undine, a water spirit who longs for an immortal soul, which can be obtained only by marrying a mortal man. So this piece is 4 movements long, and it's for flute and piano. So the first movement portrays Undine in her underwater world. So you'll be able to hear in the music, like there's just a lot of things that sound like waves and splashing, and it really does give a water image, definitely comes to mind. So in this movement, Undine leaves her water kingdom and in search of a mortal man. She is discovered as a child by a fisherman and his wife, and they basically take her and raise her as they would a daughter. So the second movement depicts Undine's carefree nature, and the piano in this movement represents Hildebrand, and he is the knight who Undine actually falls in love with. So he, I guess, is seeking shelter from a raging storm, and then he and Undine meet and they fall in love. So the third movement is really like the love music, and is basically the music of their marriage years, which were very happy and content until, and you're going to hear this part in this movement. So there's some turmoil when a fountain is uncovered and water spirits rush out, and they try to get Undine to come back to her water kingdom. But they put a boulder on top of the fountain so that the water nymphs stay inside and that they can just continue their marriage. So in the fourth movement, this is kind of where all the shit hits the fan here. So in the fourth movement, they decide, Undine and Hildebrand decide to take a trip on the Danube River. And this makes the water spirits super pissed off. They get really angry. And so you're going to hear all kinds of like crashing waves and just lots of angry music. So that's the water nymphs spirits, and they basically make Undine fall overboard and she sinks to the bottom. So Hildebrand obviously assumes that she like drowned because he doesn't know that she was a water spirit. So he makes plans to remarry. This does not go over so well with Undine. So on the night that Hildebrand is to be remarried, Undine returns as a spirit. She is veiled and shrouded like a bride. And knowing he is about to die, Hildebrand begs Undine to reveal her face, and she unveils herself and then gives him basically the kiss of death. She kisses him and he dies. So Yeah, it's not exactly the happy ending that The Little Mermaid has. This is not Disney. So, anyway, so that is the story of Undine, and I hope that listening to the music, you can hear everything that is going on in the story, or just use your imagination, and bring to mind whatever. Yeah, so I'm just gonna sit here and knit. I'm gonna be inserting the audio, so I don't know if I'll sit here and knit like the whole time. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. So anyway, I'm gonna pick up my knitting right here, and I am gonna start knitting. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy my live performance from 2003, March 1st, I think, 2003, in Houston at the Flute Festival. So this is the Undine Sonata by Reinecke. Oh, and my pianist, his name was Neal Kurz. He did an awesome job. So yeah, all right, enjoy. And I think afterward, I will just turn off the podcast. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you're sticking around for this sit and knit, thank you for listening and just getting a little bit closer look into my professional side of my flute playing, one aspect of my professional side, because there are several. So, okay, go, enjoy.